All right, good morning, everyone. We're on. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Let me play this. Mute this. Happy Friday, everyone. What's going on, guys? Silver with the nicer move. Yeah, let's have a look. Goldie's. I was watching pre-London here for gold, but Goldie is very choppy here. So yeah, we can definitely look at absolutely look at silver. Back at the charts after the 2-week break. Good to have you back, man. Good to have you back. Break's always good. Break is always good. Yeah, NQ with the crazy sell-off. We saw the sell-off on NQ yesterday. It was actually a very nice short as well. I don't trade NQ, but when I went over that yesterday, I was like, man, that was a great short. Audio and video good, awesome. Thank you, man. Welcome back, everyone. If any guys are new here, welcome. My name is Aaron, also known as Aaron Trades. Been trading for the past 8 years and mainly focus on gold futures here in the European session. So yeah, happy Friday, everyone. Who saw the Netflix longs yesterday? Who saw the Netflix longs? Netflix had a great 10% bounce yesterday. NQ had a big sell-off, which is interesting. In terms of what do we have for news today? Today's Friday, the 27th of February. We have core PPI today. So final trading week of February, and then we're into March. So we've got core PPI at 1:30 London time today. 1:30 London time. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How was Asia today, guys? Wow, look at that. Was that silver? Oh yeah, that was silver in Asia. That was perfect. Look at that. So gold in an aggressive range. What did we miss on silver? Did silver have a nice... Where are we? Let's have a look. Silver. Let's get silver here. We got Goldie here. We get rid of this. What have we got here? Yeah, this is... Wow, look at this. This is... When was this? Is it all in Asia? There's Asia here. Yeah, wow, look at that. Great move higher. You had some nice... liquidity above right here. Look at that. That was a very nice trade. Nice. Some Netflix calls. Nice. Yep. 100%. We had a crazy run yesterday. I woke up this morning and we pushed up 10% yesterday. I got a decent position in Netflix. Yeah, any of you guys take this run in Asia? Obviously, gold's been very choppy. I hadn't seen this in Asia. This is a very nice move up here. Look at this. Even buying here, 5 o'clock London time. Buying back above $90, back above VWAP. Nice liquidity targets to the left. Look at that. That's a very nice run. Look at these levels. You come up, tag the highs, sell off. You come up, didn't quite grab the highs, sold off, tag the lows. Where do you come to next? All the way back to the highs. You could even have this as a little trend line coming down here as well. Most people trying to short this trend line, but you're trying to buy up into it. Same here. Same thing here again. Trend line coming down. Most people trying to short that trend line. Boom, you're trying to buy up into that trend line. Hey, Aaron, can you talk about later how do you approach trading multiple funded accounts? Yes, definitely. My approach is we got some liquidity highs up here on gold as well, guys, for today around 52.20, 52.21 ish. My approach to trading multiple fund accounts here on Topstep is I will always have one main account that I will prioritize on, and then once I've kind of got that to what I'm happy with for the month, then I'll look to trade other accounts. So for instance, some of my accounts might be a little bit in red for the month, but some of my accounts, my main account will be green. I might take some payout if I've got a payout pending with one account, well then I'll go build another one, trade that one instead, then get the payout on that one. That's kind of how I don't like to copy trade all my accounts personally. I like to keep them separate, but my recommendation is to have one main account that you're trading, you're getting payouts from, and then in the background, build up some other accounts as well with maybe some riskier trades, or if you're waiting for a payout, like for me, I took a payout on Tuesday, so I was waiting for that to come out, so therefore I was just focusing on some other accounts that were a little bit neglected and down for the month, and then go back to building them back up, get the payout, then go back to the main account. It depends on what the balance is like on the accounts. I like to have, you can have an account, for instance, you might want to have an account for the London session. then you might want to have an account for New York, or you might want to have an account for taking gold trades, then you might want to have a separate account for trading silver. Because if you try and trade both on one account, like you could have some great gold trades, you know, 3 good gold trades, 1 bad silver trade could wipe it out. So like, well, rather than doing that and making it inconsistent, keep them separate if you want to. There's lots of different ways that you can approach it. Lots of different things you can do. So let's have a look at Goldie here, guys. Obviously, yesterday we closed inside previous daily highs and lows. We didn't really break the highs. We didn't really break the lows. So, you know, it tells us a bit of a range. Ended up yesterday about up 350. Nothing crazy. Didn't really do too much. But you can see gold is in a little bit of a range here. How do we know gold's in a range? Well, because you've been stuck inside the past. Look here. Here's your high. Here's your low. This day didn't close above the highs. Didn't close above the lows. So next day didn't close above the highs. Didn't close above the lows. So tells us the daily is in a range. And when we look at the low time frame, it's quite easy to also see that. Where we go here, look. Here's our range. There's our range. Now there was nice longs yesterday on gold. Once here you came down, tagged lows, started to break back bullish. Taking it from here, that's where I took some of that move yesterday. Because we also had some nice liquidity targets up here. So that was a little bit of the move that I took yesterday. Once you started breaking out with good volume, I took it from like here to here. Just took a little bit of the markets before pulling back and coming higher, continuing to range. So gold is in a little bit of a range. Now it doesn't mean you can't trade. It just means you want to be trading at good areas. You want to be trading very, very good areas. This on the currency chart was a perfect 4-hour morning star play as well. Perfect 4-hour morning star play. But you can even see here, look at this 4-hour. I don't look at the 4-hour very often, but just to give some context, look, we got big resistance here around 52.05, and then we have big support down here around 51.90. So we drop down to the lower time frame. We already know the higher time frame is in a bit of a range. We do also have big news later on today as well. Now, one thing that is interesting here on gold, although we are in this range, we haven't really liquidated any of the highs. And what do we know gold loves to do? Loves to come up, tag the highs, sell off. Loves to come down, tag the lows, push higher. For instance here, here's your lows, comes down, tags the lows, pushes higher. Even here, come down, tag the lows, pushes higher. Even here, tag the lows, push higher. But what have we not yet done to the resistance here? We haven't yet come up to tag the highs. So that's kind of why I'm thinking here on gold. I would like this to come up and squeeze up any early sellers around 5222. Now, with that being said, we got to see the markets from that neutral perspective. Could gold also come down and maybe liquidate some lows before potentially going higher? Definitely. You may also do something like this before doing that. Or, you know, maybe we do this and then we manipulate that trend line. I can see sort of liquidity sitting on both sides of the markets right now here on gold, which again just emphasizes what I said earlier about we're probably just in a little bit of a range. But if I had to give a bias today for gold, I would like to be buying back above 5,200 to come up and squeeze these highs, which is it's not the biggest of range. I think it's maybe about 200-ish ticks. Yeah, about 220 ticks. 220 tick range there on gold. London opens in 16 minutes. 16 minutes. Can you please suggest levels for NQ? Yep, we'll look at NQ. We'll look at all other markets. We'll look at all markets. So gold, ideally, I would like to be a buyer. Silver already. Look at this. Silver's already had a great push. Silver's had a great push. Look at that. Hourly came down, tagged the lows. Take it as it starts re-breaking back higher. So a very, very nice push. Yeah, NQ. Where are we looking on NQ? Where are we from yesterday? So that was the London longs on NQ. Look at this. How you never really grabbed many lows. But look at this. What did you do on NQ before selling off? And again, I don't trade NQ, but this was a great short yesterday. A great short. You know, I never would have anticipated that big of a short. Back down into 25,000. But what did we do before we sold off? What does NQ love to do? What does gold love to do? Loves to come up, manipulate the highs. Comes up, manipulate the highs, closes back below again, and then had an absolutely huge sell-off. So while I was sat in gold for about an hour, NQ was having a fantastic sell-off, an absolutely huge sell-off, which to be honest, I don't know how long-lived this will be. If we have a look at this daily time frame here on NQ, what did we also not do yesterday? We never actually closed below the previous day lows. Well, doesn't that look pretty similar to what happened on gold on Tuesday? Here. Never quite closed below the lows. Found some nice support. Never quite closed below the lows. Potentially finding some support. I think so. Have a quick look at this weekly time frame. Again, though, does it make sense? Yes. Look at this big weekly time frame. I'm gonna get rid of some of these levels for a second, just because it sometimes gets a bit confusing. We've got too many levels. But let's look at this. What have we got? So what do we do? Higher time frame. Dakota was short 9 NQ cons. Really? For this for the sell-off yesterday? If so, that's crazy. 9 contract short NQ. Was that on his personal? That's insane. If so, yeah, crazy, man. How much? How much did he? Where was it? Did he post it on Instagram? Saw it on Instagram. Let me see. Let's have a look. Dakota always gets the big shorts. Let me see. Where's Dakota? Let me see. What did he get? Oh yeah, yes he did. Built a 9 mini position in for an NQ overnight hold. Oh, so he took this overnight. Nice. I thought he got short here. I was gonna say, short that 9 contracts, that'd be huge. I mean, still, that's a massive position. That's a massive position. That's a huge trade. So for me, this is the thing that we've been kind of speaking about a lot here on NQ this week. I'm just gonna get my currency chart up here, guys. Keep an eye on gold on this other screen here. Let me move this down here. Not that I think we're going to do very much, but I still want to keep an eye on this 5-minute on gold just to see. Where are we? Let me get this 5-minute over here. Where are we bouncing on gold? Yeah, cool. We got time. But this is the interesting thing on NQ, which is the same way we trade gold. And this is why you guys who were here early in the week, how I said I wouldn't be shorting NQ here on Tuesday, I believe it was Tuesday. Why? Because the previous day didn't quite close below the lows. And you were also at massive support. Here, below previous daily and week lows, at support, push higher. Below day lows, at support, push higher. Below day lows, at support, push higher. Makes the most sense right now. Although this was a great sell-off yesterday. As we know, NQ can recover out of absolute nowhere. So we've just come down. We've tagged a lot of lows. We're currently holding 25,000 and already having a decent bounce. So if you're buying NQ, I would be looking for just a bit of a pullback up into 25,110-ish. Looks pretty nice. Again, look at this. Pre-London, as always for NQ. Just came down, tag lows, held support. So buying here at 7 AM. That's a very, very, very nice run. So if you're buying NQ here into pre-London, I would be looking to target back up at these highs. Call it 25,100. Looks like a nice upside target. And then from here, I wouldn't be too surprised if you see NQ come for a bigger run higher. That's a very, 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 very nice support bounce there. Very, very nice support. Anyone in them NQ longs? Nice, Isaac. Nice. NQ longs in the hourly morning star. Yes. Perfect, mate. In like this. Is that what you're in, man? Up until like here. Bit higher, like, say like around here, like on the break high-ish, somewhere around there. Yep. Nice. I like that trade, man. I like that trade. That's a very nice trade. 25,000 is huge support. Massive, massive, massive support. And this is the final trading day of February as well, guys. So it's always worth just having a quick little look. Just have a look at your monthly candle. How are we looking? Well, look at this on NQ. Huge monthly support. Massive, massive monthly support. Massive monthly resistance. Whereas we have a quick look at gold. Quick look at this monthly time frame. We are still looking very, very, very bullish. huge breakout in January. It looks like February's pushing higher, and maybe wants to come in and fill in that that big January wick. But yeah, NQ's last chance to make it a big month. That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. So Goldie very range bound here, guys. NQ having a very nice squeeze here. It's a very nice push. Let's keep an eye on silver as well. Bitcoin started to have a very nice bounce. A very, very nice bounce. But the hourly on NQ doesn't have a bottom wick. Not really, but it still was a massive liquidity gap. You'd want to be in the trade around the open of the candle. If it doesn't have a bottom wick, maybe you just manage more aggressively. But you'd still want to be in it. It happens a lot of times on NQ around the London session. So there's one thing to note. Is the reason I don't trade NQ because it's different to gold. If we have a look here, how many times can we see no bottom wicks? No bottom wick. No bottom wick at London. So no bottom wick at London here. No bottom wick at London here. No bottom wick at London here. So there's 1, 2, 3. Not much of a bottom wick here. Where's previous days? Again, no top wick. Bearish candle. London. No bottom wick. Bullish candle in London. Where are we? Let me see here. Look at this. Same again. No bottom wick. Bullish candle after tag and lows closing bullish. So again, this is why I don't trade NQ, because it's very different to gold. So if this was gold, would I be buying NQ? No bottom wick? No, but it's completely different. Look how many times NQ tags lows and pushes up with no bottom wick. Here, tag lows, held support, pushed up, no bottom wick. Tag lows, held support, pushed up, no bottom wick. There might be some more here I missed. Here, look again. Look at this. This is crazy. Tag lows, hold support, push bullish, no bottom wick. So there's 1, 2, 3. Every single day so far, just looking at this price action. Again, look at tag highs, push down, no top wick, sold off. Where else are we? Let's have a look. Any in here? I don't think so. Here again, tag lows, close bullish, no bottom wick, pushed higher. So you can see it happens all the time. Again, here, look at this. Look at this, London. Tag lows, close bullish, no bottom wick, pushed higher. That's pretty crazy. Not something I've ever looked at, but it's something that you have to know. So if you look at NQ long enough, you should know that that's not a reason. And no bottom wick on NQ isn't a reason to not take a trade. You tag lows, you hold support, just take the trade. Because this is clearly what NQ loves to do. If this was gold, yeah, gold very rarely does this. But you can see here on NQ, the probability is that we actually won't create a bottom wick in London. Because that's what's happened more times, not just looking at this past week. You tag lows, you hold support. The probability is that you're not going to have a bottom wick. You push higher. Look at this here, here, and here yesterday. So this is why you want to be trading the two markets completely different. That's why I just focus on one. That's why I focus on gold and not NQ. Because they have very, they might have similar concepts where they tag lows and grab liquidity. But if this was gold, yeah, you would get a bottom wick. And if gold doesn't have a bottom wick, yeah, exactly. It's the possibility that it comes right back down. But for NQ, it's a completely different story. So although they might move, gold and NQ in similar ways, following similar liquidity patterns, intraday, they have their completely own different characteristics. Completely different characteristics. Which is, yeah, very, very, very interesting to see that. Very interesting to see. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, so if I say, look, the hourly's opening with no top wick, an example was on gold, where we talked about the small short. Where was the, so it's silver, that's probably why it looks different. An example is with gold, if you see an hourly pushing up with no top wick, there's a high chance you come right back down. And there was actually a short this week on gold in London. You guys on stream, where was it? Here. Was it this one? I think, no, it wasn't there. I can't remember exactly what it was. You guys on Zoom, remember we drew up the short. I didn't actually take it, but there was a short on gold because you had no hourly top wick. And if you see gold opening and like just pushing down with no top wick, the likelihood is if you try and chase that, you can come right back up and create that top wick and you end up getting stopped out. Same as if I see like a 4 hour on gold. If ever, and we've seen this plenty of times on stream. This is we've seen this plenty of times where You know, we can see a 4 hour pushing up like this with no bottom wick. And I say to you guys, look, be careful. Why? Because there's no bottom wick. And the probability of gold creating a top and bottom wick is very high. Therefore, if we're pushing up and there's no bottom wick on the open of this 4 hour, there's a high probability that we come all the way right back down. So when you see that, you want to be looking for shorts into that bottom wick and not chasing longs. Yep, exactly, man. Exactly why it's more beneficial to concentrate on one pair to understand how it moves. They have, yes, exactly, man, exactly. They have their, you know, follow the same liquidity principles, but intraday they have their completely own different characteristics. So if you didn't take NQ because it doesn't have a bottom wick, then you missed out on a trade, because that's what NQ does a lot. New weekly high on GC today. Winky face, enjoy. There you go. Perfect. Well, let's buy then. Is that, do I just buy now then? Is that what we're saying? The winky face as well is like, he knows some stuff. He knows some people. Mike knows some people. So we're just getting now then. What we're waiting for? Yeah, winky face means sell. Winky face means do the opposite. Talk us through your thoughts on GC 9 AM New York hourly candle. I bought the open on the 10 AM and was stopped out. Thought the targets were good. Let's have a look. So, where are you? You're in New York time. GC 1 hour candle at this one. I bought the open at 10 AM and got stopped. So you bought here. Yeah, this was to be fair, this was a big liquidity grab yesterday on gold. There was like a bit of a morning star play, except you came down and re-grabbed the lows, which doesn't happen very often. But when it does, you just want to be getting back in. The only reason it was kind of just chopping so much is if I... Let me just see if I can... let me see if I can show you this, guys, this on my trading view chart, just so I can replay it and show you. We've got a couple minutes till London Open here. Let me see. Can you guys see my... you guys see my trading view screen? You guys see? I just want to show you quickly, because yeah, definitely the targets were good. But if I just replay this for a second, the reason it was pretty risky is just because there was no volume in gold. There was also, like, there was targets, but we're also, excuse me, nope, maybe I was gonna sneeze, apparently not. There, you know, you just also have just so much resistance above, so it was just a big range. So all I was looking to buy gold was just a bit of a breakout, because I was also seeing this, you know, tag and lows, like we got some nice clear targets above, we have a trend line coming down, so you could have bought from here. But if it didn't work and you got stopped out, for me, the reason I didn't buy is because you didn't really have a breakout. And the reason I want to see a breakout is just because price has just been so choppy for the whole entire day. But even if you did get stopped out here, was there an opportunity to get right back in? Yes, absolutely. So the loss doesn't matter. Just because you got stopped out doesn't mean the whole entire direction is wrong. So for me, I was buying gold as this current 30-minute was breaking the highs with like good volume. This was strong volume. So this is where I started to buy gold, from somewhere around here, playing up into the highs at small risk, and took the day up like 350. So then ended up pulling back and then ended up coming back for all of the highs up there. So yeah, I can see what you mean as to why you would have taken the loss there. But remember, it's not the loss that matters, it's the, did you get right back into the trade? Because there's opportunities to get right back in. As soon as you see this hourly come down, tag lows, and this hourly starts to flip back bullish, you get right back in on the flip of that hourly. Well, there's a 300 tick trade. You make back the loss and some. You go from being red on the day to being back green. But like I say, you know, if you took this trade every single time this week, well, you would have made money here, you would have made money here, you would have made money here. Here it might not have worked, but again, you would have made money here, you would have made money here. So it's not to say it was a bad trade, it's just the markets. It's not going to be perfect every single time. But if you bought, let's say, here yesterday, and you put your stop loss just below that low, anticipating this morning star play, yeah, to me that's a good trade. If it did stop you out, that's fine. The second this candle comes down, wicks the lows, and goes from looking like this to all of a sudden, you know, we start coming all the way back up, leaving that huge wick rejection below the previous lows, below previous 4-hour lows, just get right back in. Give your trade another chance. For me personally, I don't care about being right or wrong. I care about trading what I see. But at this point, was it good to buy 10 a.m. risking off 9 a.m. low? Yes. Would it have stopped you out? Yes, but was it an opportunity to get back in? Absolutely. So it's not the... To me, it was a good trade. If you did get stopped out on it, that to me was a good loss. I like that trade. The only reason I didn't take that trade is just because the 30-minute hadn't really broken out and we were pretty much ranging for most of the day. Like in here, like we were just ranging. But when I see price come down for an extra liquidity grab and starts breaking back above with strong volume, I'm like, yeah, absolutely, I'll get right back in. Get right back in. So let's have a look. We got London Open here, guys. We fixed this up. I was like, it's 3 a.m. I think it's quite 3 a.m. We got London Open. Had that hourly candle close. So hourly candle closing back below 5,200. Gold may sell off a little bit more, guys, but personally, I'm absolutely not going to short that. Why? Because look at how much support we have to left. So much noise. So do I want to be a seller right into support? Not really. If anything, what I would love to see here on gold is fake out buys above 5,200. You break back above, that to me is going to give a much nicer trade. Could take all the way till news. We'll see. We'll see. Gold has been pissing me off lately. Has gold been pissing you off, or has your ability to not sit on your hands been pissing you off? Because I think they're two very different things. Because the markets are just the markets. The markets are going to trend. The markets are going to range. That's not gold. That's just trading. And that's why I always emphasize to you guys that the importance of not being in trades multiple times a day, every single day, every single week. You need quality over quantity. It's very simple to be like, you know what? We're in a big range. Let me sit on my hands. You can take trades within these ranges. I have made money. But if you guys don't want to, well, just wait. Let the markets come to you. You remember, this week on gold, you could have bought Monday, which we called perfectly. You could have bought Tuesday, which we called perfectly. You could have bought Wednesday, which we called perfectly. And on Thursday, you could have done absolutely nothing. But again, if you can't, and I'm speaking to my younger self here, if you can't bear to not be in a trade 24/7, you know, you're never going to make money. Because these days on gold, this is where, you know, everyone, you know, we all made money here. We took this trade live. We all made money here. Took this trade on fast markets. We all made money here. Called this trade in New York. On Wednesday here. We all made money here. But this is where everyone just gives everything back because they can't bear to not be in a trade 24/7. Whereas for me, this is where I go, you know what? Monday, I had a great call on gold. Tuesday, I had a great call on gold. Wednesday, I had a great call on gold. Thursday, and this is what I was saying yesterday on stream, I don't really know what's going to happen today. And I'm completely okay with that. But if I trade in here and I get annoyed and I get frustrated and I get burnt out, is that the market's fault or is that my fault? That's my fault. Because I decided to trade in a range that I know I really shouldn't have been trading in. So, and like I say, I'm speaking to my younger self. I'm not perfect. I would be the one who would make money here, and then in here I would just give it all back and some. And then you're constantly chasing your tail, you know, to get back to break even as opposed to actually getting profitable. So knowing when to trade and when not to trade is the most important part of trading. How do you know when to not trade? Well, when the price action is like this. Bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. Or, like I said earlier, the way that I know to not trade, and this is why I said yesterday, you know, before yesterday even played out, I said to you guys, we want to be careful trading here. I also said this in the Asia market, we want to be careful trading here. Why? Because look, this daily candle on Wednesday, did we break above or below? No, we didn't do anything. So if the daily's stuck above previous daily highs and lows, intraday, you're going to be ranging. So therefore, when I understand, you know what? If the daily is not breaking out, the intraday is going to be very range bound. I'm either going to trade much smaller size, or just trade some combines. Who cares? I don't need to be in the markets 24/7. You got to remember, guys, the most important part of trading. But it is easy to identify when you shouldn't be trading and when you shouldn't be trading. You know, sometimes you might take a trade in this range, get stopped, and then be like, okay, cool, we're ranging. Take a step back and wait. But what you don't want to do in these ranges is take a trade, get stopped. Take another trade, get stopped. Take another trade, get stopped. Take another trade, break even. Little win, big loss. That's where you get chopped up. So it's okay to take a loss in these ranges, but when you identify the range as quick as you can, be okay with taking that step back and waiting. So for me yesterday, there was absolutely no daily bias. The previous day hadn't broken above or below, and you were just in a massive, massive high time frame range. So I mean, like I said, I did trade yesterday. I did make money, but it was very risky and aggressive, and I would say to you guys, don't do it if it's going to be something that could potentially send you on tilt. But that's, you know, that's, and again, that comes with all markets. It doesn't matter if it's gold or it's NASDAQ or whatever. Every single market is going to have times where it's trending, and every single market is going to have times when it's ranging. That's trading. But if you want to end the month up green, you want to take good consistent payouts, you do not need to be in multiple trades every single day. And remember, this isn't, and I'm not giving you guys some hindsight. I said yesterday, I even said in the Asian market call coming into Thursday, London and Thursday, I said I'm expecting a very range-bound day today, guys. Same with you guys who were on the Asian market call yesterday. I said again, we're expecting a very range-bound day. Why? Because there's no daily bias, there's no daily breakout. It's crazy how important the daily time frame is for intraday trading. And when I have a clear daily bias, I'm maximizing the intraday charts. Yeah. Was also reiterated in the Asia stream. Yeah, nice, sure, nice, good man, good man, good man. Yep. Yeah, again, that's actually just for your question, your answer, Sean. That's actually very true. This should also be the easiest price action to trade, which is exactly right. You know, again, like I say, I'm sitting down with you guys here. I'm more than happy to watch. I don't feel the urge to do anything. But what you can literally do right now, you go, look, here's my range. What do I do in here? Set my alert up here, set my alert down here. If my alerts aren't going off, guess what? The market's absolutely not moving. And you always have to remember, guys, we have zero control in these markets. Zero control of where the markets are going to go, where the markets are going to break out. All our job is to do is to simply follow the markets. Let the markets move and just ride the wave of the markets. Just follow it. Where in here, is there any breakout with volume to follow in here? No. And again, a great example of this was last week when you were in these aggressive ranges. This is where everyone just gets chopped up all day long. Well, you know what? You can say to yourself, what? Look, we close above. I'll ride it and I'll go long. We close below. I'll ride it and go short. You can get chopped up in here all day long. Or you can say to yourself, you know what? Until we close above or below, my job's very simple. Do nothing. Like gold right now. You know, you can sit here and you can get frustrated on gold, or you can do what I'm doing. Say, you know what? My job in here is extremely simple. Wait for price to break out or below with good volume, and then I'll take my trade. It is very simple. Very simple. The only reason it's not simple is because we make it harder on ourselves because we feel the need to have to take a trade because we're one day away from passing or one day away from a payout. You can't put them opinions on the markets. Yeah, is the absolute easiest part to walk away. Yeah, it's easy to walk away when you have seen your plan play out enough that you realize, look, I could have taken this one trade on Monday or this one trade here on Tuesday and had a great week. Like that was a 360 tick push. 2 micros, a $720 trade right there. One account, job done. Same as here. Again, look at this huge 400 tick move the following day. Here again, the following day. Another 300 plus ticks. Like there's been 100 ticks Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. When you come onto charts on Thursday, be patient. Be patient. Be patient. Do you suggest a candle close at the wick or the body? Not 100% sure what you mean. Sorry. Do you suggest a candle close at the wick or body? I'm sorry, man, I'm not 100% sure what you mean. I'm not too sure what you mean. Sorry, man. Yeah, I took $350 yesterday. I took a little $350 out of the markets yesterday. $700 the day before. Nothing too crazy. Took 324 yesterday. I posted on my story as well. Look at silver daily and you'll see why that made sense. Trading gold doesn't. Oh, well, let's have a look, man. Let's have a look. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. There's a beautiful daily bias right there. You broke out here, tagged previous day lows, held support. Yeah, where are you? What are you doing today? You're buying or selling after tagging lows and holding support after the previous day broke out, buying all day long. Where? Previous daily highs. That was a. I didn't break this down on the Asian market call. You guys on Zoom, I will remember to do it more. But yeah, that was a much nicer buy than gold. Again, daily bias is so key. So you had a clean daily bias coming into the charts today. Why? Because you tag lows, held support. So when you drop down to the lower time frame, you know exactly what you want to look for. Longs. So when you see this tagging highs breaking back above, cool. There's your longs. Where are you buying? Previous daily highs. Beautiful. But now that silver has grabbed the daily highs, what could you do from here? Who knows? Who knows? It's so important, guys. And you guys on Zoom, you guys know there's plenty of videos on the importance of the daily bias in the content, but it is so important. My best intraday trades, is when I have clear daily bias. Daily tags lows, hold support, cool, I'm buying. For instance here, tag lows, held support, coming onto charts here on, when was this, Wednesday or Tuesday? Wednesday, we're buying. Easy trade. Same as all this, we bought last week on gold. Why did we buy last week on gold? Because we were below previous week lows at massive support. Boom. Look at this. You see price come down, tag lows, close bullish. You come onto the charts on Monday, the 9th of February. What is your job? Buy gold all day long. You come onto the charts on February the 5th, when the previous day wicked highs and held resistance. You're shorting that all day long. Where? Into previous day lows at 5,000. Whereas you come onto the charts here today, well, great buys on Monday, great buys on Tuesday below the lows, and great buys on Wednesday because you bounced off these lows. Thursday, I don't know. Friday, well, how did we close yesterday? We closed in between the previous day high and low. So we got resistance here, support here, range. So again, I'm not saying we can't necessarily trade today, but it just means in this intraday market, when I drop down from understanding that my daily time frame is doing that, I'm completely open to the fact that we will likely range. Don't get me wrong, I hope not, and I hope we get amazing breakouts and we get a good move, but I'm not paid off hoping. I'm paid off reacting to the markets and waiting for the decent volume to come in and following it. Like I said, any of you guys who haven't watched it, I did post a video this week kind of breaking down exactly that. Breaking down how to use the high time frame levels to understand great intraday trading opportunities. If you say we close bearish on daily time frame, if the body of that candle just below the previous body or close below the previous candle wick. I think maybe you mean kind of like, this day, for example, here, like this day. The body of the candle just below the previous body or close below the previous candle wick. I think you mean like this. So see how this day here didn't close below the wick of the previous candle and the body closed all the way back above. So to me, that's a great sign of support. If that's what you mean, that's a great sign of support. The fact that you failed to close below the previous daily low after being bullish for 1, 2, 3, 4 days, like that's where I want to be a buyer. If this day closed below the wick, then I'd be short on gold for a fake out push because you're engulfing back bearish after also tagging the highs. When we look at NASDAQ on the last red 4-hour candles, can we tell drawn liquidity on NASDAQ today will be previous daily high? Good question, man. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's see what we got here. Let's have a look. So we'll clean up some of these levels. Let's have a look here for a second. So how did we close yesterday? Previous daily high. Well, I mean, this does look very similar to gold on Tuesday. Looks very similar. You closed very bullish, closed very bullish. Next day came down, tagged lows. Next day came down, tagged lows, and held support. So, do I think today on NASDAQ could come up into previous daily highs? I mean, it's possible. Again, same as when I'm buying gold. When I buy here on Wednesday, I'm not trying to buy up all the way into the move. I'm happy to just take longs for an intraday push. So I think if you were looking for a trade on NASDAQ, I think even just looking for an intraday push back up into 25,200 is still a nice trade. Could we come all the way back up into previous daily highs? Maybe, but that's a pretty far stretch away. I'm not really thinking that far ahead. I'm also want to be thinking, you know what? Yesterday never closed below the lows. We wicked support. I just want to be a buyer from this area. Where could I be a buyer up into? Well, let's have a look at my intraday chart, my hourly chart. Well, we kind of see we've got some pretty decent resistance here. So I would like to be a buyer below day lows, just up into this. Could we come for previous daily highs? Maybe, but I'm not really trying to think that far ahead. I'm happy to just take from, here to here is good enough for me. Whatever happens above there, who cares? We've got our piece of the markets. And from previous daily lows up into these highs is, 104 points. Like, that's huge. It's the same thing. Daily highs and lows, liquidity levels, same thing. Same thing. Let's have a look here, Goldie. What are we up to, Goldie? What are we up to? Still trying to wick lower. Again, I'm not convinced by the sell-off here on gold. I think a lot of people are trying to short this. I do think you squeeze higher. Again, are we here to trade off what I think? Absolutely not. The only way I will trade off what I think is when the markets show me that what I'm thinking is correct in the form of price break and back above, and then I'll follow it. Because like I said, guys, we're just trying to follow the markets, not predict the markets. So if I think gold can go up, it's okay to think that. But unfortunately, the markets don't care about what I think. I do also think we're just ranging. But yeah, silver's a real shame. I didn't see silver. Silver's a great push. A really, really good push. Comes from day lows. What do you come to next? Daily highs. Daily highs, sell off. How's silver looking on the monthly time frame? Monthly, silver still looking. Look at that, silver. Wow, look at that for a swing trade. Buying below previous month lows. Could see silver coming for a decent squeeze back higher. I do still like overall silver to come back up and test these highs around 92,730. I do like silver to come higher. If I'm going to get long on silver though, I would probably want to see a bit of a pullback, because ideally if I was a buyer, it would have been back down here. Why? Because you had a great breakout of a nice previous resistance level. It's very, very, very nice. After also tagging lows. Tagging lows, broke above, retested, wicked lows, pushed higher. So I'd probably want to see something very similar to this in Asia. Maybe, back down below here. Around 89,700-ish. We come down, manipulate some lows, find support. At 90, I would like to buy silver today. Which I actually think may be nicer than gold. Maybe nicer than gold. Yeah, it would have been a nice swing. Yeah, it was a huge swing, man. Huge swing. I wish I still had my runners on my swing from last week, but I had lettuce hands. Can you look at the close of yesterday's 8 AM candle? Yeah, don't think about it. Yeah, I can't. On gold? Which market? You mean, I guess you mean London, 8 AM London time? If you mean gold, baby? And the same as me today, guys, same as yesterday. You know what? If with gold looking how it's looking, if I don't take a trade today, am I going to be upset or annoyed? Absolutely not. Couldn't care less. Why? Because I took my trade Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then we had clear daily bias that we spoke about all week. So if I don't take a trade today, I am absolutely okay with that. Absolutely okay with it. Gold to sweep below before heading up. Yeah, again, maybe. Well, let's not think too much. Let's just wait and see what happens. Could we do something like this? Yes, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, exactly, John. Yeah, full fresh month of trading starting Monday. Exactly. Coming into March. Full fresh month of trading. I think what I'd want to see for gold is just to be honest, any breakout with volume, or at least probably an hourly closure. Then I'll look to follow it. Yeah, let's have a look. MES. So let's just have a look at yes for a second. Full margin March. Full margin March on Monday. That's what we like to hear. Full margin Mondays on March. NQ, yes, let's have a look. So, let's have a look. Let's get rid of some of these levels. Yes, what have we done as well? Very similar to NQ. We also failed to close below previous day lows. 6,900. Very, very, very nice support. So again, I would be looking to buy. I personally wouldn't be looking to short. Nice thing about here on ES right now, you just had previous hourly lows and you're wicking back above. So personally, I would like to be buying, yes. I wouldn't really want to be selling after you held previous day lows, but would I want to be doing anything here? Not really. Look at this, you're wicking highs, wicking lows. We got this first 30-minute London coming in 9 minutes, and it does look pretty choppy. Which if we look to the left, does it make sense to look choppy? Yes, definitely. Remember, we also had big news today as well. That could be the breakout that these markets need, especially gold. March with M for minis. Yeah, minis March full margin Monday. See there. See if we can change the title of the YouTube video on Monday. Copper had a nice push in Asia. Oh yeah, lovely push. Right off $6. Look at that. Very, very nice push. That was a very, very, very nice push. What was the I think daily broke above $6, held it, breaking back higher. I do believe you probably see copper push up into the daily highs from the 11th of February. Back up into, where is this? 6.15. But yeah, that's a lovely push. I have to start going back to copper again. Gold's ranging. I have to go back to copper. London guys is real, yeah. Yeah. Look at that on copper as well. What do we do? Came down, tagged the lows. But what had we not done? Well, it never hit the highs. So you tagged the lows of the range, you hadn't quite hit the highs, so yeah, there's a very nice push. I don't look at copper very often, but that's a lovely push. Very, very nice push. We've had some good trades on copper before, but it's not really a market I watch anymore. To me, it was too hit and miss. But yeah, that is a very nice push. Very, very nice push. I do think you'll squeeze higher as well, so I'd look for a bit of a pullback to continue buying. Let's have a look. What are we up to? Silver. Again, silver, I would look for long ideas from 90. I wouldn't go too crazy with the longs. Why? Because you did already hit previous daily highs and you're back at that resistance. But again, maybe as a combine trade, it could be worth it. Reason I wouldn't take it as an XFA is because if I was trading my XFA on silver, I should already be in and out. Should already be in and out. We do have that. We do have that news today as well, guys. Like I say, we got news at 1:30 London time, pre-New York. We got PPI. PPI. Let's have a look. Do we have anything? Anything overnight? Let's see. Trump administration faces big tariff refund. Court deadline on Friday. Gold inches up as traders eye US tariffs and Iran nuclear talks. Interesting. I don't know which gold they're looking at, but to me here gold's not doing anything. What else did we see? Nothing too crazy. But yeah, ideally, like I say, if I had to give it, say, on what I want to do for gold today, ideally, I'm looking to buy. Ideally, we're looking to long. But if I'm going to buy gold, like I say, decent break back above 5,200 with good volume. A good strong break. Good strong break, and then we'll follow it. Let's see it. Thank you up to here. Thank you pulling back, leaving some nice resistance liquidity above. I'd like to see this continue squeezing higher. I think if I'm going to watch gold today for actual trades, I think it'll be closer to news, to be honest. To me, that would make the most sense. To me, that would make the most sense for Goldie. But again, like I say, if I don't get a trade on gold today, who cares? Yeah, I'd consider it, Sean. Yeah, it would have to depend on how it would break. It would, yeah, it would depend on how much we do grab, but it would be pretty risky because we kind of did the same thing yesterday. Didn't redo that much. So yeah, it would depend. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, sometimes, you know, if we got a bit of a trend line coming up here, well, if we, you know, this say if this is my level where right now, say, you know what, gold breaks above 52.05, I'll look for longs. But let's say if we do something like this, you know, maybe we creep down like this and we grab these lows, and then we start to look for this. Well, then I'll kind of bring this, yeah, you can bring this level down a little bit, and I'll say, oh, okay, cool. Well, maybe then my break will be above this support. You break below it, you hold it, you break lower. Maybe once we start breaking back above, then I can, okay, cool. Now that can be my level. If we continue pushing down more, for example, we come and tag these lows, then I can bring this down. I can say, okay, cool. That will be the area where I'll wait for a breakout and then go for my longs. So, yeah, you know, you can bring these areas of if then down as we go down. So right now it's, you know, if we close back above 5,200, I'll go long. But if we keep pushing down, then I can say, okay, cool. If we break back above 51.91, then I can go long, and etc. etc. Keep moving down. This is just a level to say, you know what, until we get back above, I'm not going to trade. Well, I can keep bringing it down as the markets keep going down. As soon as we do find support, fantastic. Break back above. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I'm only looking to play a bit of a range here today on gold, but yeah, it is a pretty decent range. Anywhere from like down here. You know, it's a 400 tick range. Next trade will be first time on XFA. I'm sweating a lot. You can't think like that. I mean, you got to treat it the exact same way. Treat it like the exact same way. But if it's your first trade in XFA, I wouldn't be trading today. I'd be waiting for Monday, to be honest, man. I wouldn't be trading a brand new XFA today. But yeah, you can't think like, oh, it's a new XFA, it's real money on the line. Just treat it the exact same way. Just trade the charts. Don't trade the combine. Don't trade the XFA. Don't trade the $150 green days. Don't trade the however much to passing. You trade the charts. Don't even think about it. Like for me, like I say, you know, when I'm working towards my payouts, I'm never thinking, oh, if I make 150 today, I'm gonna get my payout. Never think like that. I look back at the end of the month, I go, oh, cool. This account's up $3,000. How many green days have I had? I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, great, I can take a payout. But it's never a focus. So you literally don't even think about it, because the more you think about it, the more that you'll chase it and delay the process of actually getting a payout. I never ever check. Never check. Because if you're taking good trades, you're trading your plan, you're going to make $150 green days throughout the month. There's not even like a Good at mindset. Yeah, it's not even a mindset thing. It's just you trading a plan or you trading the P&L. Because if you're trading the plan, it's going to happen. But if you're not trading a plan, you're taking random trades, then yeah, you're going to be focusing on it too much. So it's honestly, it's not even a mindset thing. It's just trading the charts. Trade the charts. I was going to do some back testing on the euro this weekend. Any tips on trading currency pairs? Not really, to be honest, man. I don't waste time trading currency pairs anymore, personally. Too slow, too boring. I don't know what I personally I wouldn't just backtest gold. I think gold's much nicer than the euro, personally. But again, the euro will do the same thing as what gold loves to do. So I would still focus on the same liquidity concepts. Euro loves to do the exact same thing. Let's come down, tag lows, break back higher. You break below, you break right back above. There's your longs. There's your fake out. Break above, below. There's your fake out for shorts. Okay, come down, tag lows, break back higher. You also have a trend line coming down like this. Most people are trying to short this trend line. You're buying back up into it. So it follows the same principles as gold, but it's just currencies are just too slow. I honestly don't miss trading currencies at all. I haven't traded currencies in so long, and I don't miss it at all. Nice, there you go, Sean. Had my biggest week this week across my XFAs without even realizing it until checking today. Exactly, man. That's amazing. Don't even check that it's been a great week or how many green days you got. You just look back at the end of the month. You go, oh sweet, February was a good month. I can take a payout. That's amazing, man. How much are you up this week, Sean, on your XFAs, man? If you want to share, you don't have to share, man. You don't have to share. Copper boy locked in. 3.6k. Amazing, man. 3.6k on the week. In a week like this week, that's fantastic, man. Absolutely fantastic. And what was the majority of that made up on, like a handful of trades or loads of trades? I bet it was like a couple of good trades. 3.6k is amazing, man. Yeah, about one a day. There you go. Exactly. 3.6k is amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. And do I understand correctly that if gold is printing inside bars on the daily chart, we should trade previous daily highs and previous day lows as the best zones with targets in the middle of the previous day range? Yes, you can. Like, you can. It depends on the overall direction. With gold being overall bullish, I would be looking to target previous daily highs because I want to be a buyer ideally. But if you're stuck in between, like, let's just do this on a clean GC chart for a second. Let's just fresh analysis. Let's get rid of everything here. Like, if we were looking at this, I'd say, you know what? Here's daily highs and daily lows. Like, this day didn't close above or below, so again, the range is getting smaller. So coming into today, I'd say, oh, look, there's yesterday's previous daily highs and lows. Well, we have been overall bullish with also grabbing the lows. So ideally, I would be looking to trade into previous daily highs, ideally. But you can see as this range just gets bigger, smaller, smaller, and smaller, the intraday range gets even harder. So it's not, you don't want to be buying and selling into the highs and lows for no reason. You want to be buying and selling into previous daily highs and lows depending on which way the markets are breaking out. Well, gold overall has been bullish, so ideally, I'm thinking to myself, even if gold's going to have a sell-off, you're very likely to come up and tag the highs. And I want to be buying anyway because we're overall bullish. Potential sheep. Yeah, that's how I look at it. So ideally, I want to be a buyer today into previous daily highs. I'm not really looking for a short into lows, but if we do grab the lows and we find support down below the previous day lows, then great. Then I'm more inclined to take them longs. Because if we grab daily lows without grabbing any of the highs, we look at this big trend line coming down here on gold. Yeah, I want to be buying this up. It's kind of like why I took the swing long on silver is because we were below massive weekly lows at weekly support. Aaron, is it a surprise to you how often the gold high has held today? I thought we were going to take the liquidity multiple times, but it hasn't happened. Still good trades from low, of course. Yes, it is, but it's definitely surprising that we haven't grabbed it. But it's not surprising yet. You know, like I say, it's only 8:30 London time. We got the whole day. We also have news later on. Will I be surprised to see if today closes without grabbing the highs? Yes, definitely. But right now, is it surprising that we haven't grabbed the highs yet? No, not yet. Not yet. Why is it not really surprising? Well, we're in a bit of a range, and we also have news at 1:30 London time. So it's not surprising right now, because it's still very early doors. But would it be surprising if today closed without grabbing these highs? Yes. Coming into next week, I would still be confident that you will grab these highs on gold. But it's not surprising that hasn't happened yet. No, yeah, we got time, man. We got time. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. Would you take buys on the 30-minute on gold? In this current hour, no. Personally, I wouldn't. Although this is shaping up to be like a little bit of a morning star, the reason I'm not selling this is because I believe gold's going to squeeze higher. Would I buy this? Not yet. I'd want to see a little bit more of a breakout. But this is the whole reason why I'm not selling gold. I think a lot of people are trying to short this breakout without understanding you're at massive 4-hour support. And I want to be buying from here, and you also haven't liquidated the highs. But if I want to be a buyer on gold, well, in order for me to trade the current hour, I trade that based on how the previous hourly candle closed. Well, how did the previous hourly candle close? We closed very bearish the past 2 hours. So gold's not the market where it's just going to turn around out of nowhere. So the best thing I can do right now on gold is say, you know what? If we close back above 5,200, we close back above VWAP, then I would look to follow it. So yeah, I do trade the 30-minute, but it's all depending on how the higher time frame candles are closed. Because if you see price close bearish and then you drop down to low time frame looking for longs, well, then you'll always find yourself trying to catch highs and lows. And you'll get stopped out plenty of times. Because like I say, gold's not the market where it's going to find support and just rip. You're going to tag lows, you're going to break above, then you're going to get your trade. That's why I like gold a lot. So if this hourly did close above, then yeah, I might drop down to 30-minute and see if there's a potential trade, but I wouldn't buy this current hour. Just because of the aggressive range that we have been in. 30-minute closures are very unpredictable right now. Like, that was a great 30-minute morning star there. Look at that. That was very nice. Would I take it? Probably not, because you're still ranging. So I can't look at this go. Oh, that would have been nice. That would have been nice because it didn't work here. Got to be realistic with the setups that we would actually take. Especially that, look at that, tagged highs, closed bearish. So would I drop down to 30 and look for longs there? No, I'd be more than happy to wait. NQ also ranging, guys. Goldie ranging. Silver, what are we up to, Silver? Silver's not moving too bad. Silver's probably the nicest move here this morning, but I do want to see us squeeze lower before we look for longs. Remember, there's still room on Silver to squeeze back up into 92,500 and more. Whether it comes today, we'll see. But Silver has much nicer room for longs. Much, much, much nicer room. But to be honest, my best trades this week have probably been on Silver. Gold still had great opportunities, but Silver has, yeah, Silver's definitely been nicer. Nice, there you go. Just been told I can work from home now, full-time work on one screen, hourly on another, check every hour. Yeah, nice, 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 nice. Love that. That's amazing. And remember, if you're working from home as well, you know, try to also have a break from the charts. Don't sit there and watch the charts all day, every day. You know what? Say to yourself, you know what? Let me wait for this candle to close in 21 minutes and then go do something else. Because sometimes when you're at home and you can sit there and watch it all day, can actually be a bad thing. But if you say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to walk away till hourly candle close and then look at the charts. Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic. Bitcoin's had a great recovery right at 65,000. I kind of wanted to see Bitcoin come a little bit lower to buy more. This is a pretty strong bounce. Look at this great daily morning star here. Look at this. Daily came down, closed bearish on the 23rd, What did we do on the 24th? We pushed down, failed to close below the daily lows. And then what do we do here? Push straight back above. Like as a daily pattern. That's great. We also did the exact same thing here to sell lower. Look at this. Perfect daily morning star. Again, look at this. Perfect daily morning star. Sorry. Daily evening star, daily evening star, daily morning star. Daily morning star here as well. Again, here as well, daily morning star. So this is a very nice support on Bitcoin. So I do believe from here you'll see Bitcoin come up and squeeze 70s. So Bitcoin longs are looking very nice. It depends on if you're looking at from like a higher time frame perspective or like an intraday opportunity. Intraday opportunity, I would be looking for longs. Longs up into 70 look pretty nice to me. You left a bit of a double top above. It follows the same principles as gold. You like to come and grab the highs. Trend line coming down, so I'd like to be buying up into that trend line. Buying up into where most people are trying to short Bitcoin. And that's a very, very nice bounce off 70. Very nice bounce off 70, very nice bounce off 65. So yeah, I'd want to be looking to buy Bitcoin. I don't trade Bitcoin, but I have bought some Bitcoin overall for higher time frame longs back up into like 80s, maybe even 85. That's what I'm kind of looking at overall. It's a great dollar cost average area to buy back up for like a 25 to 30% pullback. That's what I'm looking for. But that's a very nice, very nice daily pattern. Perfect daily pattern. I've never day traded Bitcoin, but that is a very nice trade. Look at this on Goldie, guys. Goldie just ranging, finding its feet. Again, no need to get frustrated, no need to get annoyed. It's very simple to trade right now. You're letting the markets come to you. We let the markets come to us, guys. You'll very likely range all the way until news. The news could finally give us the catalyst to potentially have a push. But don't get chopped up in here, guys, because you get chopped up in here, by the time the markets break out later on, you'll get a much easier trade and you'll kick yourself for not being able to sit on your hands right now. It's always what happens. In these ranges, you know, you chop and chop and chop. You wait for price to break out, you follow the markets, you'll have a much easier trade. So rather than trying to make back losses, say to yourself, you know what, I'm not going to trade, I'm going to sit on my hands. The markets are going absolutely nowhere. Let the markets come for you. Targets for Netflix. Good question, man. Let me see what I've got here on my chart. Netflix. Where's my alerts on Netflix? I'm looking for a bit of a long back up into $100. That's all I'm really looking for. Netflix looks like it's trying to create a big head and shoulders around $100. You know, if we break $100, then maybe I'll hold. But from where I am long on Netflix, buying back up into $100 is like a 23% trade. So that's all I'm really looking for. I will be watching, I'll be watching around like 94s, see how you react around 94s, but ideally I want to hold it back up into 100. Could you hold Netflix up into a new all-time high? Maybe. I'm not really trying to hold for that long. I mean, still, even if you were trying to hold Netflix into a new all-time high, which I do think is possible, it's still a good dollar cost average level. But for me personally, I think 100 is a nice target. I think 100 is a nice target. Silver buys if this hourly closes back inside of the pre-candle range. Let's have a look. Silver hourly buys. What are we up to here, silver? Let's have a look. Well, remember, silver longs were perfect today. Where were you buying silver? You're buying up into previous daily highs. So look at where we're at on the high time frame. We're above previous daily highs. So buying above previous daily highs when they've already been grabbed is risky. Because if you're buying today, that would be your target. Well, your targets have been met. Now, it doesn't mean you can't still buy today. But if we look at the markets from a neutral perspective, let me just bring this back to here. We just tagged these highs. What could this do? To me, this could fuel a bit of a pullback. So if I was looking for a bit of a pullback long, well, where was the most recent breakout level? We had nice resistance here at, say, 89.5. We had nice support, lots of manipulation around here, lots of resistance. So for me personally, I would like to see a deeper retracement. Would I buy if this current candle closes within this candle here? No. Because if we close back in above, what we're doing, we're grabbing the highs, we're also grabbing the lows. Failing to close above or below, what does that tell us? Range. So if I want to be a buyer on silver, I want to be a buyer at a nice support level. To me, that would be back down here before buying. Because you've already had a great run up here. Really, really nice run on silver. You're above previous daily highs, which could be a big profit taking level. That could fuel a pullback. So again, I'm not saying don't take that trade, but for me personally, I would be more so seeing, look, you got resistance here, you got support right here. So YouTube guys, I will wrap up here. The markets are looking very, 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 very quiet. We got gold ranging, we got silver ranging, we got Nasdaq ranging, and we do have big news later on as well. We got big news at 1:30 London time. So for me personally, guys, I am going to be waiting for that news. Remember, guys, you have my levels here for the day. I'm looking for overall longs on gold, but I'm going to leave gold for the London session. I'm going to sit on my hands because when we get that breakout, we get that volume later on, I'm going to have a much easier time simply following the markets opposed to trying to sit here and predict right now. So let the markets come to you guys. It's been a great week of the markets. We've had some amazing calls, amazing trades here as well. And I will see you guys same time again next week. Trade safe today, guys. I'll see you all next week. Peace.